Hello, everyone. Nate here, back at the top of the episode to drop a little bit of information about our socials. You can find us now on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Rolled Standard. You can also email us at therolledstandardgang@gmail.com. If you have any questions or concerns or want to suggest a game for us to play in the future. You can also find us individually on Instagram if you want to see what any of us are up to or just want to talk to us directly. At Rolled Standard Dice is me. At cannibal.chris is Chris. At Vonhouse, Haus, is Jake. And at Aaron_Hume is Aaron. With all that out of the way, I hope you've been enjoying the show. Cheers, and don't sniff glue.
Welcome back to the Rolled Standard. I'm Chris. I was your keeper.
Not today.
Not today. No, today we're actually going to review the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition starter set from the 2/3 of it that we played.
Yeah. I am Nate. I am now your equal.
I'm Aaron. I am not your equal.
You always have been, buddy.
And I'd like to start out by giving a big shout out to Nicole, you big, beautiful Texan.
Okay. I'll give a shout out to Wentworth, you asshole clown.
Yes, I'll be apologizing profusely for Wentworth.
I actually say that sarcastically just because no matter what he said ever, he was the best character, so I couldn't ever hate on that.
Nope.
That's generally how it goes, is, the Pamplemousse, who I'm anxiously awaiting bringing to this, honestly.
Well, we got to find a way to incorporate that shit into.
Yeah.
I think I know.
Yeah?
I think when you run Dungeon World, you should be a bard and be Pamplemousse.
Oh, that's a good ass idea.
How many game episodes are we talking about that?
A while.
A while, as far as I know.
Shit. Because not only can I
If you're willing to do that.
because not only am I super excited that Wentworth is finally fucking dead.
Oh, for now.
Oh, no. We won't be revisiting him.
Okay.
I hope.
He's just going to be a dead man.
So if we play Call of Cthulhu again, you're not playing him. Yeah, see.
In our universe, I guess I'm going to have to.
I mean...
Because I'm thinking if we decide to go back to those characters, we'll do it on some other platform, something to stay away from like the main feed of things. I think that's a pretty good idea for especially any of the starter sets that we didn't finish that anybody might want to listen to us play.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a really cool thing to do is come back for those people that
I
really
don't
want
know
to
that Wentworth is acceptable. He's somewhat brusque.
Yeah, and he said something about coming for ear pussies not too long ago.
He did say that.
Ah, yes, I have come for your ear pussies.
I'm like, oh shit.
It's hilarious every fucking time, but
this-
he's such a dick.
This dude has no other introduction on here. Well, leaving me with that one.
We're going to start making shirts.
So, we have a ton of shit to go through here.
Yeah, we
Got
actually do.
quite a few episodes here. I guess I'd like to start by saying that like I'm glad we went as long as we did. Just a little bit of insight.
I have that thought every time.
Yeah, I bet that's true.
Just a little insight. We originally we were only planning on doing the first episode and then reviewing it because we had other things we wanted to move on to.
Yep.
But we did the review. I came back around to edit it, and it was just gone.
Mm-hmm.
So the old ones decided that we hadn't, they weren't finished with us, apparently.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
But man, I enjoyed the shit out of, I don't know, less about playing Nevada as a character, more than just being a spectator for Aaron being Wentworth.
Oh, yeah. No, he's a good sidekick.
Oh, it was amazing. It was the weirdest thing because I feel like I'm just like, okay, I just got to take a step back from this and just let this motherfucker go.
No, you
go
were the
now.
sidekick. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just
You're
like
a Wentworth boy.
Yeah, I was
Just watch the whirlwind.
I was the Robin to his weird Adam West Batman.
Sure.
It was so
Maybe I
fun.
was Alfred.
That's what I was thinking, actually.
Oh
when
man,
you said that, I was like, well, if Alfred was Batman.
no, I enjoyed just about everything we did. I feel like it's not uncommon that games of Call of Cthulhu end up being like mundane up into a certain point and then just instantly batshit crazy.
That's Lovecraft for you.
And
You get bored, and then all of a sudden, not kind of, you're going to get to the point where you're like, I don't know if I can handle any more of this mundane shit, and then it pops off. Like that's generally what it generally
Then
is.
all of a sudden, there's a tentacle coming out of the closet, snatching people and pulling them in.
Yeah, you just fall into a fucking shadow in
and
the
there's
floor.
barely any more story. Like
Just-
more
yeah.
often than not, it's usually like kind of an abrupt, like oh shit, and then that's kind of it.
Madness and then nothing.
Yeah.
It's
There's
slow, dark, spooky, almost dragging to the boring, and then batshit insanity.
Well, I'm more of a fan of it than I ever thought I was, especially because I don't have any context for it other than this. I've never never read any of the books or any of that shit. I obviously know of certain aspects of the lore and mythos stuff and
everyone
whatever
knows
else.
what Cthulhu is.
Of course, but I didn't know any specific things. So just being involved in some really crazy storytelling like this felt really, really great.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed running it. I mean, it's just that's the stories I like to tell. Kind
Oh
of.
man, all your characters were on point too.
Really?
To be honest, I
Great.
feel like instantly weak link in all of this, and I don't.
Which is a
mind-
fun role reversal, because normally it's me that's just like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, no, that's not. You're always good. You just never think you are.
Yeah,
Hi, I'm Aaron. Have we met?
No, we have. We definitely have, and that's why I know that.
we have a list of things that we like to go over. We don't follow it necessarily to a T or anything, just to give us talking points
Yep.
about everything when we do reviews here. And I was thinking, I went through it today and was like, was combat impactful? And I realized, like, man, no, not at all. There's I'm sure that there are times where that could come into play heavily in a situation.
Could yeah, like a
But,
bunch
like-
of cultists or something, or like weird little frog dudes. Not frog dudes, but like fish people. There's a name for them. I can't remember what they're called.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
like the Innsmouth. I think it's Innsmouth.
They're Murlocs.
Kinda, but creepier and more real.
They're more like
That's horrifying.
Morlocks.
But no,
Are they?
No,
they're not.
no,
Okay,
that's
they're
The only
something
reason-
entirely different.
okay.
the only reason I brought it up was because I think the only time that I rolled for anything like that was when I shot at Red Jake.
Yep. I also no. Yeah, that's it.
Nope,
Nope. Started shooting at the mirror too, or at the window with the zombie in it. Was Red Jake again?
Yeah, it was Red
that
Jake.
was
Oh,
Red Jake.
I was thinking Red Jake in the basement.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't ever make a.
No, I actually rolled
a
combat
move.
against you.
Yeah, and they failed.
That
Yes,
was
they
the
did.
table leg swing.
Yes, that's
but there
right.
were like 3 combat moves ever rolled. It was like
true. Not a combat heavy game unless the story itself calls for it.
right, but
The
no,
third one's about zombies. I know that, so that could have it.
probably then.
Yeah.
But I really liked that because of the fact that like it left that really awesome moment of like in the middle of a ritual, like chanting Latin, like gun trained on a zombie outside while we're trying to deal with the house, like feel like it's spinning through the air in the fucking Wizard of Oz and shit like that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Like it's just amazing imagery for me to think about, and I was just like, man, no, why did I even have a gun at this point? I was like, which is, I don't mind.
It's kind of funny to think like what's happening, and the guy just pulls a gun.
yeah. it's-
What is that gonna do?
well, at the same time, it's like
If you were a person that carried a gun, that would be your reaction.
Yeah,
would
that's
be to
your
pull it.
go-to. You're
it's like, oh, there's a dude I knew for a day that with a giant hole in his chest.
You were threatening before. You're more threatening now. Now the gun's coming out.
Well,
Actually,
then
it came
there
out
was-
the first time too, but this time it clapped.
Yeah. And then bringing out like backstory stuff for characters that are pre-made like that is really interesting as well, because it's like, oh yeah, this is an interesting aspect of this character that really never would have come up any other way. I know we're talking about more late story stuff right now, but
Either way
Which,
with
if
it.
you've been listening at home, is more fresh in your brain.
yeah, and it's better editing too.
That was good. The last episode was very good. I thought. I props to you, Nate, for editing that.
Yeah, I
The
know.
chanting and everything like that. I didn't expect that to work. You know, I was like, oh, we're not gonna use that. And then it was in there, and I'm like, oh damn, that worked out perfectly.
Now I'm like a standard that I have to keep.
Well, that's fine.
The rolled stand.
Damn it, I was gonna,
Yeah, right.
gonna try and get there.
And then the voices, the screaming, wasn't sure how that was gonna come out at all. That was pretty loud.
Yeah, just toned it back.
Yeah, that worked out perfect.
Did you put any filters on that or anything?
Yeah, gave it a little bit more. It's actually really simple. It's just like duplicating that part and then taking the pitch and lowering it on one of them. So they play it exactly the same time, and then you sound like fucking
You
zombie.
King Diamond it.
Well, only if there were separate notes that I was saying. That would
That would have been insane.
That's essentially what it is. Yeah, singing in chords. But yeah, I wasn't. I was singing technically. That's me singing.
Oh,
really, just
I
screaming.
suppose, yeah. But yeah, I mean, if we go back to the beginning, like Paper Chase, that was ridiculously interesting to me because of even how, like, when we came in contact with the otherworldly being that ended up being there, it was a tense situation that ended up being like this huge moment of curiosity for us. Like, it's like, well, can I leave now? It's like, yeah, and he's leaving, and it's like,
But wait, there's more.
You sure you want to?
it's like, I feel like that's the part where, like, being Nevada was like, okay, I'm an archaeologist.
Right.
Why wouldn't I be interested in going to do this? You know?
If Indiana Jones found that, he'd have gone and you wouldn't have seen him again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
why I
too.
like Aaron's question there, like having Wentworth ask him about food and shit. And it's like, I assume
Well, because
mushrooms
I
and
knew.
bugs and things like that, of that nature. And
Probably.
He's like-
probably primarily.
it's like, primarily, it's like, no, I'll need specifics. And it's like, oh, our last meal, I think his name was Jefferson. It's like, nope, okay, goodbye. I
like,
say
all right.
goodbye.
Book closed, we're out.
Yep. I was like, damn, that was probably one of the only things. Because once you get into the conversation of like, well, there may be other ways out, you know, it's like, we can't, you know, make sure of that.
Yeah, no, there are. I mean, there's openings everywhere. It's just
Right.
like an underground. It's like digging up the marrow, or
It was an interesting moment to me that I think, I don't know, it makes it weirder for surviving things later. Because it's like, that was the first time that we played these characters. So, like, I think we'd even gone over it in the episode where it's just like, you've read about things, you've dealt with other people's experiences and stuff, but you've never like seen
no, yeah,
otherworldly
No proof.
things, you know? So I guess that's why, like, I think about at the end of everything, end of Edge of Darkness and all that stuff, like where Father Phil was all fucking shaken up about everything, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, damn, that's really good character work for that shit. And I was like, why would Nevada not be like that?
Right.
You know,
5
in this-
years.
It's like, yeah, it's been 5 years, and that was his first experience with it. And it's like, I was thinking about that versus the insanity stuff, and I felt way more justified afterwards when we like rolled to get our sanity back, and it's like, oh, I was back at where we started.
Yeah.
I like the first time that I rolled well in almost all of the shit that we did.
That was him compartmentalizing.
I was just like, oh my god, this is probably not the best way to do this, but
No, that was perfect.
no, I've enjoyed all of it. I mean, if like I'm gonna say this early because I'm sure that it's not a fucking question to anybody. The fucking rolled standard, like all the way, dude.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Big fan.
100%.
Absolutely, I
It
would
definitely meets the world standard.
I would love to play this. I would love to play this more.
Yeah, and if you guys want us to, let us know. We'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're looking for input from you guys, and if we don't get any, we're just gonna be left to our own devices. And
That's the scariest shit
You
ever.
can email us at the Rolled Standard Gang at live
gmail.com.
at gmail.com.
Which, if you're not using Gmail for your email,
Man, you should be writing slogans.
no, it's
You ain't using Gmail for your email.
it just turned out that way. That's their fault. No, you're doing email wrong.
I don't.
You
use my
sound so
Gmail.
sympathetic.
Use your Gmail.
I am very curious because this is one of those things that, like, it's not going to be the only time that we don't make our own characters, but it is the first time, and I'm very curious to see how, like,
True. We've almost never had pre-gen characters ever.
yeah.
Wait, that's not true. Starfinder starter set.
Okay,
The
that's,
other starter set we played.
okay, yeah, that's
There's a running theme.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, no, I'm curious to know what it is like to, like, create a character and kind of gear them in a specific direction, because having pre-made characters that I have no complaint about that. That's gave me a really solid basis for deciding how I was going to play him.
Yeah, you're kind
Of course.
You're giving parameters then.
Yeah, but like I'm really curious to know what it's like to, like, what was your highest ability? Was it Latin?
It was one of the ancient languages. I'm not sure if it was Latin or Greek.
Yeah, and mine was obviously archaeology, which luckily came into
you
a lot of
find
what we're
ways to
doing.
use the skills that you have.
Right. But then there are a lot of them that I had nothing in or any of that kind of stuff, like things that I just couldn't like feasibly do that seemed really commonplace, or
Spot
they
hidden.
would be commonplace. And I'm curious to see what it would be like to like, because obviously this is our first time playing this, at least at my first time playing this.
Yeah, I've never played previous to this either.
I played a previous edition years ago, so it could have been like 4th or 5th. Could have been 3rd. I don't know.
Damn.
I didn't run it, but it was a one shot that we did at a usual D&D group.
Right. All the stats and everything like that are so foreign to me. Like, I know how they work, obviously, after all the playing that we've done, but like to build them, to optimize stuff like that is a very curious thought to me.
I think you're given a pool of how many points, or like, I can't really remember the parameters on character creation, but it's not that complicated.
I would assume that it's not too complicated or anything, but like I guess a good example would be like deciding that you're going to be a very specific class in Dungeons and Dragons because you know that you can like min-max.
I
this
want to be
stuff
a
and
monk
that
so I
stuff.
can not, stun everybody and then break their neck.
Yeah, absolutely, that one. I'm
I
actually.
wish we had video.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Like I don't know. I'm curious to see how like what min-maxing in Call of Cthulhu is,
Yeah, I don't know.
because I feel like that's a weird thing to try and do, but I'm sure that it's something that you can do. It's just that leveling is such an
Probably.
abstract thing in comparison, like because it's all based on chance
also,
instead of like
you're
the
really min-maxing if you're successful at the things.
Yeah,
you do.
that's exactly it.
Pretty cool.
Experienced players reach us at.
Yeah, honestly, if you played before, let us know.
Right.
Yeah.
Feedback one way or the other is always welcome.
Yeah,
We have
like
a Facebook page actually that you could comment on at, I believe. I think.
yeah, they're all standard for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
it's
there.
I think it's what it's for.
Yeah.
I know we have it. I just don't know what it's for.
It's a thing.
I would love to hear like the the Call of Cthulhu's version of that, or like how it would work, or what what skills are like actually way more useful than you think they are.
Right. Like spot hidden, obviously, that's like a search
Perception.
or perception type
yeah.
of thing.
Listen and spot hidden. And,
Yep.
And that turned out to be enormously useful, even though we did fail quite a few times at it.
Oh, often, very often.
But just enormously useful. And drive. If neither of us had a drive skill, how would we get back and forth?
Is there a drive skill?
There is, but I don't think we ever used it.
No, I don't think we did. We probably should have.
You're probably right.
Well, especially the way that we were playing them while they were driving.
I mean, I guess, well, because a lot of times it's like a lot of things just kind of are prompted for that kind of stuff. But honestly, when you guys have any intention, it really should have been like, because I was going on the script, really, and if it asked for a roll, I'd give you rolls.
Of course.
But times like that, like driving to the, but it's like, do we really want to throw that many wrenches and gears? And I guess is because there's a story being told, I guess, in that situation.
Sure.
But I mean, it doesn't mean that the story has to be that way. And we definitely are great at just like taking one small gap in the story, in the scripting, and then just loading it with shit.
Yeah. Oh,
Like the church. They said that there was one. Look what we did with it.
I was just
Right.
going to say I wanted to sit down and hear some of the things that you completely improvised that
Oh, that's
I
a great
wouldn't have
point.
known otherwise was in the script, because I'm sure that there are people that have listened to it that are like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I
that
played
know-
this
right.
scenario.
Yeah, that
There's
knows
no
what it
fucking
is.
church.
Absolutely.
Phil, the whole Jesse Phil thing, that was all fresh because they said that there was a church, and that's it. Because it was just listed the stuff in the town, and it's a church. And you're like, let's go to the church, and I'm like, oh, okay,
You said it was there. We thought it was important to check out.
fair enough. And it did turn out to be pretty important to check out.
Hell yeah.
Because what we created with it.
Very, very
And
cool.
then he didn't even exist. I mean, that's why I gave him a horrible name. I was thinking
That was then changed.
well, yeah, which is weird, I'm sure. But I know that, like, I mean, that probably happens all the time, at tables and stuff.
For sure. Has to all the time.
Yeah, but only because I picked such a stupid name to begin with. No, it's not that it's stupid. It's just that it was a poor choice because obviously Jesse Custer is the main character of Preacher,
Yeah.
comic book and AMC series, and so immediately when I was thinking, I was like, I'm gonna make him like Jesse Custer. His name is Jesse Custer. I'm like, God, fuck, that's not the right answer. So yeah, eventually changed it, but totally based on him, and there was that. Ma and Pa Peters, is that what their names were?
Yep.
I think it was Peters.
They they were who they said who you met them as. That was all in there. But as far as fine details, they probably had salt. Or they didn't mention salt.
Now that we're on the review, what was the salt about? Why did we buy 3 pounds of salt?
It was 2 pounds of salt, which is not that much salt.
No,
That's a lot of salt.
Yeah.
It is if we're just like food.
I just think about it in the weird fucking ways that they always talk about that shit.
Like, you
And,
got heart problems,
when you're
bro?
dealing with
supernatural.
Yeah,
man.
well, I mean,
like salt
supernatural,
lines
of
and
course, but even like tons of other writing, it's like a staple for warding off shit or like fighting aspects of the darkness and
like
shit.
bland food. Yeah, those salt and pepper. No, I'm just kidding.
Fair enough.
Oh, the one that I because we found out afterwards, which made it all the better for us. But the name of Jefferson.
Right. Yeah, that was actually that was kind of weird because you guys knew that the groundskeeper for the cemetery's name was Melodious Jefferson.
Yeah,
And then
this is in Paper Chase.
Yep.
The first episode.
Exactly. And then when you asked me what he ate, I was thinking, okay, my thought process, I'll go into it in order, I guess.
Sure.
My thought process was another dude, another one of those weird dudes underground.
Oh,
Like they're just resorting to cannibalism. Mm-hmm. But then the name that I came up with, off the top of my, just off the tip of my tongue, was Jefferson. Mm-hmm. And then you guys were like, "Oh shit!" And I'm like, "Oh shit, what?" Like,
it's like, okay, well, they're not going down there now, so
yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And then when you explained it, we went outside. Actually, when me and Aaron were leaving, you guys mentioned like that connection, and I was like, "Oh shit!" That's probably why it was on the tip of my tongue, was because it was more recent.
Right, it was fresh in your mind.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I didn't put that together until you told me the connection you guys made.
It was so perfect for me though, because it was just like the only time he was brought up, because we never actually went to go talk to him. We were going to, and we never did. And the only other time he was brought up was like, oh, this strange old man that takes care of the grounds over there. His name's Melodious Jefferson. I was like, that's a great name. Holy shit!
I
So it
wonder
was
if I'm
like
pronouncing that wrong. Like, is it really Melodious?
Melodious. It sounds
Melodious
right,
also
right to
means
me.
like something smells bad.
Or
That's
it's something
malodorous.
Exactly. Or wait, no,
Melodious.
I think I am adding a letter to it.
That means it has melody.
melody.
Melodia. Oh, right. Okay. I'm thinking, melodorous. That's what I'm thinking of. Never mind.
Melodorous Jefferson.
Yeah, melodorous Jefferson.
Oh, Stinky Pete.
Oh, Stinky Jefferson.
Real Red Pete.
No, he
Red
was
Jake. That's what it was.
Honestly, in that split second where it's like, oh, his name was Jefferson, I didn't even put together the groundskeeper thing. It was just like, oh, you eating people? I'm out.
That's pretty much where I was kind of. Okay, so you got the right thing.
I mean, that's the main part, is that they're
Right.
eating somebody.
Ultimately, that's true.
Yeah, that was another one that, like, after finding out that it was just like something completely separate from it, I thought that was just amazing.
Yeah.
Can't write shit like that when you're.
Well, you could.
No, you can, but I mean, when it comes to having roles involved in the things that you do, and like, just there's a church here, so then you improvise a scene at a church and whatever, and it turns into this character. Like, Phil is such a great character for like everything that we were doing, because he was like kind of, I don't know, it was I don't know how to describe his character to be like part of the trifecta of the weird fuckers that was in that cabin. But
an archaeologist, a butler, and a priest.
yeah, right.
Languages professor.
And I just see us all
Whatever,
standing
yeah,
underneath.
you're right.
I just see us all standing underneath the fucking trap door in the ceiling with a bunch of crazy carvings around it. Like, okay,
Who's going up?
yeah. Were you planning on killing that motherfucker there?
I was trying to.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Yeah, no. It said that
I
if
felt it.
Yeah.
I felt it.
I'm always trying to like get rid of an NPC with games with you, and you're always just like,
No,
like
I fight
hanging 'em in there.
harder. I fight harder to keep them.
I know, which is good and bad. Mostly good, but
That's
sometimes they're just
way
like,
funnier
come on,
to
man,
me.
I got enough to do
I
already.
know. Oh my god.
Seriously, I think Wentworth should have pissed up there just to mark his territory.
No, that's fair. But yeah, there was a point where if he was to open that thing while it was up there, there was a couple rolls I would had to make as Phil, and then he would have gotten attacked by the thing, right? And if it was to kill him, it said something along the lines of it just pulls his body up into there and then spits it back dead.
Oh shit.
Nice.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I was trying to do that.
Wait. So is that supposed to happen with a player character?
Yeah.
That's like,
Or it mentions that there's a cop that can show up if you guys call the police about the dead body. Oh, I forgot about that.
Well, that was early in the day anyway. We weren't
Yeah.
planning on doing.
Well, I
any
forgot
of that
about there being cop, another cop, because it says that I think it maybe was Pop Peters. I don't remember. I kind of just like stopped looking at it for a while because I didn't need it. Kind of.
shit. You know the main things that are supposed to happen, and while we're out doing like all the,
But it says that you
Weird.
can also sacrifice that to the thing as well. That's the point of that.
I would have loved to play this game at a table with just friends. Somebody like, oh, I'll go up there, and then
Yeah.
Because it would have happened.
You know, it totally would have happened.
Absolutely. Where it's just like their character just gets pulled up and then shot back down, looking like that fucking alien from Galaxy Quest, got all fucking inverted and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think it just had like a broken neck or whatever.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Or
I'd love
head,
to just
head
be like,
twisted backwards or something.
oh my god.
Very Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
just
it
thinking
mentioned
that.
something about like you ripped someone's head off and threw it at a person in the
Yeah,
notes.
in the journal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I really don't think though. Just to wrap that up, I don't think I added anything else besides like the how you took the damage, because it says like when you took the damage in the barn,
Right.
It mentions that you're like falling on glass or whatever, but like what you did with
Fucking
that obviously that
hilarious.
was something that we made up,
Oh, man.
including all the additional damage, which I just had Phil fix it. So really, I almost kind of feel like that Phil or me playing and having an NPC that's that much into it, that big of a part of the group rather, is it allows me to have like that Deus Ex Machina kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, like it's just like my hand is.
It's
constantly-
Phil
I'm
Ex
there.
Machina there.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
no
like,
doubt.
It's like, oh shit, I understand now. Okay, I'll take care of this, and then just stitch my face. I love the image of me just having like thick blue thread through a giant hole in my
Like
face this
figured
whole
that
time.
just like this huge vertical gash on your cheek.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking it too.
Yep.
And just like a sky blue, sky blue thread.
Like yarn.
Yeah. Oh
Oh
God.
I'd just be soaking up blood.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, that'd be hard.
Oh man. Yeah.
It'd
No.
be especially hard if he didn't have a curved needle to stitch.
He didn't either. He
Did
just had a
not.
sewing needle.
Yep. Straight through.
So, you know, that skin was like pinched, like you know,
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
that's not gonna heal well.
No, not at all.
Nobody had a good time that day.
Except
Probably you.
Wentworth.
Yeah, Wentworth did, yeah.
Nobody had a good time. Well,
Well, except for me.
oh my god. Now here's a good question for me is that do you know of any games that are like particularly long?
Like longer campaigns.
Yeah.
I think they exist.
Because
I
it
don't know
feels
of
like
any.
it feels like a game that's really hard to do that with. Like obviously, like I have to preface this by saying I feel ridiculously lucky that any of us are alive.
Oh yeah,
I think
you
I
made it
said
through
this.
2 actual scenarios.
One of the things that I read when I was, preparing for us to actually play
Yeah.
was something about if your character survives 2 to 3 scenarios without going insane or dying, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's pretty much accurate. You guys nailed it.
Yeah, see, Nevada's sanity was him holding on to it was based entirely on the luck of the rolls that I had. I had failed every check that I had to make. Wait, no, there was one that I didn't, and that was with the visage of my father, which I
Yeah.
probably think is one of the more important ones for him to make because I feel like,
Well, it's in his mind so heavily that I imagine fake that shit, he's gonna know.
oh, right, but I mean, it's like when it goes away, it was like the spinning death maw teeth shit, whatever. Like I had already taken more damage from the acid shit that had come down from the ceiling and all that. It's like I was not looking great at that point already. So I feel like it's probably safe to assume that I would have had to take damage if I had really failed that.
I can't remember.
But all of the stuff that kept him alive was literally just the rolls that I had after failing even. It was just the severity of the shit that I was dealing with is really all that it was. By all rights, Nevada shouldn't have made it out of there.
Yeah, and also you guys were very cautious.
That is true.
Like
yeah.
there's plenty of opportunities for you guys, and they even state them too, like all these certain things that can happen if you do this. And you guys really cautious.
Yeah.
Like
We,
if anybody
Tiptoed
would
around it.
What's that?
We tiptoed around all
yeah,
that.
we didn't
You
play
did.
it like we
You-
were in
you-
a horror movie, you know?
Yeah, you totally did though. Well, no, not really though. You're right. I see what you mean. Yeah, because horror movie people don't.
Yeah,
know.
where it's just like where we hear people like yelling outside, yelling for help and shit like that.
Yeah.
Let's go
Whatever.
outside.
It was like, nah. Wentworth especially is the character that wouldn't, and I loved that, where he's just like, nope,
Nothing to do with me.
fuck that. I don't care who it is out there.
I felt very much like Dory when I just kept saying, just keep chanting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you're just like, chill as fuck about it. I'm just like sweating. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. We're not going to do this. It's not going to work.
Weirdest boss fight ever, though.
Right, though?
There was no like interaction. It's just like, yeah, shut up. Just keep chanting.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's like as long as you guys were making rolls and you guys weren't breaking the formation, pretty much made it through it.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing, too, is that like I think we had both fucked up at one point.
Yeah, when we were interacting with, the hallucinations or however you want to word it,
Yeah.
there was a point where Jesse, Phil, Cockring, whatever,
Yeah.
he was the only one chanting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The point of it, yeah.
Keep on chatting, boys.
Yep. That shit got me sweating, dude, because...
That was good. That's what it's supposed to do.
Oh, and Red Jake, of course. There's no way to not talk about Red Jake, because like he was there just for a moment, and he was the fucking greatest shit. Oh my God. Oh, I'm Red Jake. That right there, I was just like, I want fuck Phil. He can leave. I want to hang out with Red Jake though.
And then he comes back anyway.
No, I know.
Actually, that was interesting because you guys got rid of the body in the woods, and the body is the one that's supposed to come back.
Oh.
The one that would have become the zombie and showed up there, or Red Jake. And I was like, well, or Red Jake, really, depending on how many people were there. I was going to throw a bunch of zombies at you guys.
Oh.
That just wouldn't.
They wouldn't get in, so fuck them.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Then we'd have just had corpses piled up outside the building.
Potentially.
I'll be like, okay, well,
Burn it down.
I don't think we're gonna be able to explain this one away. So let's burn it down. Change our names. Let's go, Wentworth. Your name's okay. I think the way that we're gonna do this, your name is going to be Alfred.
Sterling Archer.
You're gonna be
Gotcha.
Alfred, and I'll be Bruce. I think that'll work out.
No.
That's not taken, is it?
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either. Fuck that.
No, not even a little.
Yeah, no, I.
Yes, Alfred E. Newman and Bruce Campbell.
Oh, perfect. No, Red Jake coming back. There's a part of me that thought it was just like, I don't think this motherfucker's gonna live after he leaves this place. And it wasn't like
even that was part of it too. Is that like if he goes, he gets killed.
there was a chance
he
of
could
him
have
staying.
stayed.
He could have stayed. Yeah.
Oh, so
He didn't
then
want to, though. He was trying to get the hell out of there.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
So we could have like chained him up in the basement.
You could have killed him. You could have done anything. They had pretty much all those angles with Red Jake covered. There's only really so many things that could happen.
That's
Either
true.
he goes, he lives.
Oh,
he goes, he dies, or he stays.
The other question I have, I guess, is could you tell us what that shit was?
What shit?
The one where you had us do Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh, right, the brown powder.
Yeah, I was so curious.
Oh my god.
That was like the grease paint stuff we were supposed to make the pentagram out of, right?
No,
that
like
was
this weird shit because we had everything else, and then there was that.
Because listening to it later,
It was the dust of some.
when Chris as Jesse
Was talking about grease paint,
was said, "Oh, yeah, I use grease paint to do that."
Well, that was just me thinking that out loud.
right?
Like, that
When I was listening,
That's what you were
driving
thinking of?
down the highway, I was like, "Oh shit, we should have used that fucking powder." 'Cause
Oh,
it was
man.
greasy.
What if it was like something crazy as fuck, and if we did use it, it did something crazy?
It is.
Fuck! Oh my god! What?
No, like I can't remember what it's
Like good crazy or
it's
bad
the-
crazy?
It's like the powder of the dust of something. It's some Middle Eastern name. And essentially, what it does is if you were to throw it on the invisible thing, because it's invisible when
Oh, then we'd be able to see it.
exactly. Yep.
Oh, and then I'm sure we'd have to do some kind of fucking
Sanity check.
because we can actually.
Yeah, likely. I can't remember exactly. I'm actually looking it up.
That's awesome, though. I mean, obviously it had to be something crazy, but like
I feel like that would have been really amazing to hear described.
oh yeah. I mean, like even just the description of what it was otherwise was like a
A
tornado.
whirling maw of a thousand
Oh no.
gaping maws.
Something like that. Yeah. Well, weird Lovecraftian dusts aside, I did want to talk about the mechanics and shit because it is, at least from anything that I've played, ridiculously unique. I'm sure that's nothing new for people who have played Call of Cthulhu,
Likely.
but I really enjoyed the system, like the like the 2 dice system, kind of like powered by the Apocalypse does, and their
Well, it's
way
considered a
and shit like that.
D100 system.
You're right. But it's just having 2 dice that you use for everything, other than combat, which is you actually have different damage roll stuff for that and whatever else too. But there isn't like a homebrew thing that you could do in this, is there?
You probably could. You could create monsters.
Okay,
Thinking
that
about
makes
you
sense.
could. But I do know that too, like the Keeper rulebook, I think it's called.
Mhm.
I might be wrong about that, but I think it's what it's called. it has a ton of monsters in it. I think it has all of the ones from the mythos.
Damn.
I believe it does. I paged through it. And
There's got to be a lot of stuff in that
there
book.
is a lot. It's a pretty thick book.
That's amazing, though.
It's in my Amazon card and it's been there forever. It's definitely eventually I'll pick it up because I think we definitely wouldn't mind playing that one. You know,
Oh, for sure.
like it's one of those 10-year games. You know what I mean? Like you're like, would you play this in 10 years?
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah, probably.
for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
If I'm not dead in 10 years.
You won't be.
Unfortunately.
Well, I mean, like,
sure of it.
because I don't think that like statistically for characters, like you're going to always base them on the same thing. They're not going to have like when it comes to that world,
Yeah.
like you're always going to be.
I kind of would rather it not be in the 20s though. I would love modern day Cthulhu.
There is a Call of Cthulhu current day. I forget exactly what it's called.
Not Delta Green. I mean, you're thinking of that one,
No.
but there is that one.
Yeah, no, I really loved the mechanics of the game.
Yes.
I'm sure that it would work out like as a basis for other systems. I'm sure they exist. I obviously haven't looked into just D100 systems
There's a lot of them.
or like anything like that.
I think
but
it's kind of the original.
I'm sure like mechanically I could dig on just about any game that would
Yep.
be held to that same standard because I love that shit. I don't know. Especially because like all you have to do is
This is-
succeed once
Yeah.
and then you can potentially gain experience in it. So it makes you think of other ways that you can go around. It shouldn't be your main priority to just like have a bunch of like shit waiting for you to level up at the end because the story should be your priority. But
Very, very good point.
but it does also like open up a world where it's just like, okay, well, I've already figured stuff out this way. If I want to move this up, this is a
Right. How
like
do
a
I
vaguely
exercise
similar
this
stat.
skill?
Yeah, like how? Yeah, exactly. How am I going to increase this because I do want it to be better along with everything else as well? So you like you the way that you narrate or the way that you play your character from that point has to gear towards that thing that you want it to be. It makes everything a little bit more specialized than
Right. And it's a different way to flex your mental muscles.
yeah.
So you're constantly thinking of new ways for your character to do what you're trying to do.
Right. If you're playing if you're just playing a fighter in a fantasy game that you're gonna be
I'm going to stab him
Yep,
with
you're gonna-
a sword.
you're gonna swing that fucking axe at that dude. It's gonna be heavy.
That stuff, by the way, the brown powder was the powder of Ibn Ghazi. It says specifically, I'll read this little excerpt from here.
Yes.
Says, the powder of Ibn Ghazi is a rare magical substance created through specialist arcane knowledge. When thrown or blown through a tube over invisible things, it makes them visible for a short while. In practice, the powder makes the invisible visible for 10 heartbeats, which is to say a few seconds at most. Creating the powder is difficult and requires special ingredients not easily obtained. Using the powder costs no sanity points, but seeing what it exposes may cause a sanity roll.
I fucking knew it.
In the case of the lurker in the attic, which is officially what his name is,
The lurker.
You said that
the
already.
lurker in the
Oh,
attic.
wow, that's
Lurker
even
and attic are both capitalized in
Oh,
that.
that's fucking
Oh.
baller though.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that too. Yeah, seeing its true form does provoke a sanity roll with a loss of 1/1d8 sanity points, and that's stated that way. It looks like a fraction, but the one before that is if you succeed. 1d8 if you fail. We've seen that before,
Right.
In other things, it takes one action to blow or throw the powder at the monster. No roll required for this action, but the investigator must be within a few feet of the monster for the powder to cover it. And as another little something about that to determine how you would have found that out. It says the silver stuff. That's what it was. The silvery talcum powder defies identification, even if subjected to laboratory analysis. The powdery substance is somewhat like graphite and it adheres to the skin, coating it and imparting a greasy feel, but washes off easily. Which I covered that.
Right. Yep.
And it mentions how you can let's see. Should an investigator? It's the next bullet point, really. I'm looking like anyway. Should an investigator make a successful Cthulhu mythos roll? Highly unlikely due to the fact that the investigators probably have little to zero ability in this special skill. They can identify the silvery talcum powder as the powder of Ibn Ghazi. Note that Dr. Armitage at the Orne Library at Miskatonic University, which didn't come up because, and I'm glad we read this because that brings up a good point of something that we missed. If shown, the powder could identify its true name and purpose if you would have met him. However, you guys headed straight to Ross's Corners. And there's a lot of
dude
research
was
that you could have done.
dying.
True.
I think we found that stuff there though.
Yeah,
You did.
in the basement.
However, yeah, and it's true. But there was characters and research that you could have done that you would have met.
Oh, that's That's right.
Before leaving town, you could.
I remember you saying that. Like,
Yep.
we went straight there, and I didn't think that was a weird thing at all, honestly.
At
Because
the
it says
time,
literally, should the investigators wish to pursue research prior to venturing into the old farmhouse, a number of possibilities are described here. Finding out about Mary and Alan's death, studying the hieroglyphs at the Golden Box, using the resources available at Miskatonic University's Orne Library. I guess you had to have known about that. Well, it says, it also says there's the next steps after you met Meriwether, right?
Right.
It says Miskatonic University's Orne Library is open in the evenings during the week for what can be done there. See avenues of research, right? So you could have gone there. But you kind of have to think of that one though, and you have to know of it.
Right.
But I feel like since you guys are based out of Miskatonic, is something that you should probably going forward, if ever comes up, researching your situation is
Right.
beneficial.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
made anyway though. Investigators speak with Meriwether's widow or son, which you didn't.
Nope.
They quickly discern that neither
No,
knows
that
anything.
kid was giving us the fucking stank eye.
Yeah, and he's like that.
That's the first thing that I was just like, yeah, nope, not going to get involved in that shit. Especially after they leave, we're in there. They come back, and he's having
like
a seizure
spewing
and
blood
shit.
in a
Yeah.
fountain.
Oh, my God.
Well, it says even there, investigations into Meriwether's death reveals that the malady from which he suffered, as determined by the keeper, caused his passing.
Oh.
You didn't come up.
No.
But it also says there's a keeper note. It says your players may be inclined to go straight to the farmhouse. This will not hinder successful resolution of the situation, as the resources the investigators need are given to them by Meriwether at the hospital, or are to be found in the house itself. However, if the keeper wishes to encourage some investigation before researching the house, then perhaps remind the players that sometimes being forewarned means being forearmed and better prepared to face what could be a difficult task. Perhaps they could start with looking into the events described in the journal. It covers that base too, which was surprising, I thought.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, that was the other thing, too. Like, we definitely should have gone through that journal better.
Yeah.
I was reading it.
I feel like from a narrative point, us driving through and having this conversation about like kind of bullet points of what was going on while Wentworth was reading stuff, I enjoyed that bit of it. And I also didn't want to just spend a half an hour reading through.
Right, that would have been
stuff on
one of our episodes of me reading in Wentworth's voice.
Yeah. Well, hey,
By the
man.
way, I apologize, Wentworth's an asshole.
Right.
Yeah, you say that now, and then you're gonna be doing fucking 5 years from now. You're gonna be doing Call of Cthulhu audiobooks in Wentworth voice.
Jesus fuck, I hope not.
They literally have like the entire mythos in that book.
Do they have stats? Just
Yes, they do.
because we're looking, do they have stats for Cthulhu?
Of course they do.
I want to hear them.
Okay, we will get there.
Do we want to spoil that for people?
I feel like that's not really a spoiler because I
How
feel
about
like
this? If you
nobody's-
don't want to hear this, let me know right now. You have 10 seconds. We're not going to know.
Yeah,
Add 10 seconds of silence, please. Okay, so as a Thoth is in here, that's impressive.
Yeah, we were talking about him.
Yes, yep.
There was
Great Cthulhu. Here it is.
Great Cthulhu.
That's just Cthulhu.
Alrighty.
He's great.
Strength 700.
I don't know what that means, but that's
Constitution 550. Size 1050. Dex 105. 260 hit points. 210 intelligence. Damage bonus plus 21d6.
Jesus fuck.
Attacks per round 2. Fighting attacks. Cthulhu is huge and will stomp, kick, and crush with his feet, clawed hands, and tentacles. Each scoop. He's a maneuver called scoop.
Wait. What are you supposed to fight this guy with? With a fucking mech?
I figured out.
No, you're
Wait,
supposed to
did you say
use that 6-shooter, Nevada.
21d6 damage?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the damage bonus.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Each round, 1d3 investigators are scooped up in Cthulhu's flabby claws to die hideously. Flabby claws.
Just
die.
each
You start
round,
calling your
1
hands
to
that.
3, you're gonna die.
Get those flabby claws off me.
Like
dude.
I talk about your hands regularly. If Cthulhu were just emerging from a vast hole, or if he were to stoop over, the investigators might also be attacked by Cthulhu's facial tentacles, which can grab 4 people per round and which can penetrate small openings.
So you can be in a cave and this guy's face tentacle can pull you through.
Yeah, totally. Fighting, 100%.
Nice.
No, yeah, like you can't possibly
Can't
fail.
fail.
No.
Which is the worst. Oh my god.
Damage 1d6 plus damage bonus 21d6.
Oh my god, dude.
Holy.
So 22d6.
I want to know what
Scoop maneuver 1d3 investigators killed.
per round.
Killed. Just happens. Just happens.
That's just
Wait, what? I want to know. I want to know the scenario where you.
So
get
you would have
you
to
even
have
get to this point.
I don't know, that's why I'm reading them.
100 minimum investigators fighting this dude, all with like
Yeah, this is what I'm
tanks.
trying to figure out because this is like Tarrasque fight levels.
Ritualistic stuff would probably be the thing that you're doing there.
Probably.
It wouldn't be like we're gunfighting Cthulhu.
No.
I would.
I mean, you will for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you'll go out pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
21 points of armor of transdimensional muck and muscle. Additionally, he regenerates 6 hit points per round. At 0 hit points, Cthulhu bursts and dissolves into a disgusting, cloying greenish cloud, then immediately begins to reform. He needs 1d10 plus 10 minutes to regain full solidity, and when he does, he then has a full 160 hit points again.
Fuck.
Like 20 minutes?
20
minutes tops?
Oh my gosh.
Spells. Knows hundreds of spells,
That's literally what it says.
but not summon/bind Night Gaunt and contact Nodens.
That's it.
Yeah. He
So he knows all of them except for these.
He might impart contact Deep Ones. That's what they're called, Deep Ones. Those fish people.
one.
Or contact Cthulhu via terrifying dreams.
Oh my god.
He's
he
gonna
can impart-
contact himself.
No, he can impart that.
Oh.
So you will
So he
be
can
able
make
to
you see him in his dreams.
Oh
in your
shit.
dreams.
Oh dude.
So never ever will we ever fight Cthulhu.
Well, we can't now. Spoiled.
Yep.
Well, yeah, we know all the stats just off the top of our head.
Like, Ronnie's got 160 hit points.
Well, this is
You
what
don't
I'm.
want to take 22d6 damage. Get out of here, Wentworth.
No, this is really just the information that doesn't matter to you because if you get to the point where those numbers matter, you're
You
dead.
already
you're,
knew.
You're dead. There's
enough.
no chance.
Bast is in here. The cat goddess. The Egyptian cat goddess.
That's so weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Sanity loss. 1d10 on a success or 1d100 sanity points on a fail.
Oh, so you're
Just to see Cthulhu.
you fail it and your brain explodes.
Yeah, so it's kind of. I think they just put it in there just because you gotta have it in there. But who the hell is gonna?
There's
I mean,
got. I want to
honestly,
know.
More than likely, there's a lot of stories of him.
I want to know.
To get out of our digression,
This isn't a digression. This is
It's fucking awesome.
this is what's happening.
this is a regression.
But to get out of our digression, I really wish that at some point when one of us had lost sanity points, one of us had lost at least 5 so that you could have done the craziness. for a minute.
You wish.
That wasn't. That wasn't.
You wish.
That wasn't fake. That was literally us just
Nope. Yep. You just always skirted the 5-point line.
barely all
Always
the time.
4 or less every time. Impressively.
Because at that point, what would have happened?
A myriad things. There's a lot that could have
Is
happened.
it a specific list?
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
Ooh, Skexy.
Bouts of Madness table.
Yes.
It says keeper chooses or rolls 1d10, and I would have rolled. I would imagine you roll actually, or either one, whoever it was. But your choices, and I'm just gonna read the what they are because there's bolds and then there's a description.
Oh, sure.
So it's amnesia, psychosomatic disability, violence, paranoia, significant person, faint, flee in panic, physical hysterics or emotional outburst, phobia or mania.
Man, there are enough of those that I.
What is significant person?
That's what I
Review
wanted
the
to know.
investigator's backstory entry for significant people. The investigator mistakes another person in the scene for their significant person. Consider the nature of the relationship. The investigator acts upon it. This lasts 1d10 rounds.
Oh man.
So you would have
Nevada
thought
would have been my dead wife.
No, it probably would have been Phil.
Of course.
That's who I would have put that on.
Yeah.
Right.
It would have been. Yeah. Phil would have been my dad, and
They all last 1d10 rounds. So really, it's like I'd have made you roll a d10, and then you roll another d10.
and then I beat the shit out of Phil for 10 rounds.
Yeah, violence. A red mist of rage descends on the afflicted investigator, and they explode in a spree of uncontrolled violence and destruction directed at their surroundings, allies, and foes alike.
Poor Phil.
So you
No,
just
I would have put that on Wentworth if you had that, because of how your reaction
yeah,
with him.
yeah.
You're just like, you know what? It's fucking enough. No, that was
Just break the window, grab the glass. It's your turn, motherfucker.
right. Amnesia. That would have been pretty weird.
Yeah, just like forget why you're there.
The investigator has no memory of events that have taken place since they were last in a place of safety. It seems to them that one moment they were eating breakfast and the next they are facing a monster. So that's for 1d10 rounds.
Whoa.
Kind of a weird one. The mania thing would have been interesting because then you get like a permanent issue.
Oh.
And that list is weird.
That's what I expected a lot of them to be, honestly.
Yeah, well, the phobias and the manias are like ones like, well, actually, next 1d10 rounds. Never mind. but you have to do those things for those at that time. And the mania list, there's a sample mania list, but you can go with anything.
Sure.
Like agathomania, algomania, amenomania, bibliokleptomania, which is kind of obvious what that is.
What the fuck, though?
Compulsive for stealing books.
Yeah, but just like...
like the guy in the paper chase.
Kind of, yeah.
Not really, but yeah.
Kleptomania, pseudomania, necrophobia, but also probably necrophobia, I guarantee.
It's just like there's so many weird ones that like
Hemophobia.
kleptomania is a weird one to have for 10 rounds.
You know, telephonophobia, pretty obvious what that is, but it's actually called that. Telephonophobia.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I feel like there was lazy writing that day.
Well, I mean, what else are you going to call it? But yeah, that's that.
So yeah, that's
what could have happened.
That shit is actually really crazy though, because like I figured it was going to be the most common aspect of the game for us to deal with after a certain point, and it blew my mind that not like to anybody who's listened to it already. Legitimately, if you're disappointed that neither of us had to deal with any sanity shit, you are not the
Same.
only one. The
Hard
three of us
same.
are the same way.
Yeah,
we wanted
that's
to
pretty
see
much unanimous.
Yeah, we wanted to see that shit go down really heavily. It was just dice rolls. Legitimately, we did just well enough. Almost exclusively for me. But
see those moments for me. Like had one of us, gotten our bonus insanity moment. Those moments for me, I love the story. That's like I give two fucks about mechanics. I like the story.
Sure.
That's me. That would have been a tremendous storytelling opportunity.
Absolutely.
To improv that out. Or
to try and figure out what you're going to do with kleptomania in the middle of a fucking ritual.
right. Like, I'm going to walk over and pick Nevada's pocket. I'm going to take all the bullets out of his gun.
Yeah, like what? How do you even
You'd probably be like, if it was me, I guess I'd be backing up to like the bookshelf in the room and just being like,
just all snaky in the
Yeah,
corner?
yeah.
Be like, what are you fucking doing?
that's a really good description of it. It's the silence for the listener.
Right. It's like chanting for 45 minutes and then just out of nowhere you snap into I have to steal books. It's
Yeah.
like the weirdest.
It's a weird one.
I know, but it's just like one of those things. It's like I would have loved to see it play out that way. Maybe.
Or like arachnophobia. Is there any spiders around here?
Yeah, just-
no, there's not. Okay, cool.
Oh god.
For 10 rounds. Did I see a spider? No, you didn't. Okay, cool.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, I know we've already hit the point already where we've like people already know that we love this game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It is so cool.
So we are currently 2 for 2.
Yeah, so far. I mean,
That's some double deuces.
yep.
Yep.
I mean, oh, and I guess just like a little point on that. I mean, we've made it a little bit farther in our Pathfinder game, and I mean,
Ooh yeah.
not to talk about any of the stuff that's happened, but
Oh, no.
it has only gotten better, like we assumed it would be.
Oh yes.
it's-
I've been loving it.
It's just as cool as it was, and then cooler.
Yep.
Just a small note on that, because fuck, I love that shit too.
My Pathfinder library continues to grow.
Yep, that's perfect. So Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, I believe we already covered this.
Oh,
meets
we
the
did,
world
and we
standard.
could recap it though, because I love recapping. Yes, it 100% meets the world standard
would
across
love-
the board.
Yeah, I would love to play this more. I would love to see weird, crazy iterations of stories, because it's like really from the very moment that like a case starts for like the characters, it is like what the fuck is going to even happen? Like,
Right,
I
you
couldn't
really have no idea.
I couldn't fathom. Like I'm sure I could play it 50 different encounters and still the 51st I would just be like, what? I have no fucking clue what's gonna happen.
I
Right.
really want to homebrew a story, because I have like ideas written in my notebook of like stories for Call of Cthulhu, just basic things, and I have some ideas, and I would love to actually write one.
Well, that's
There
good-
are
that's a good seed to plant.
dozens and dozens of scenarios out there,
Oh yeah,
and I'm sure they're all well written. I haven't read any of them.
Yep, I wouldn't want it either.
And most
God,
of the,
no.
most of the actual the published books that are out there, because Chaosium does release I think one is called Masks of Nyarlathotep or Nyarlathotep, I think is what because they have their own, and in the Keeper's handbook or whatever it was called, does give the Chaosium pronunciations of the mythos phonetically.
Oh,
So
weird.
you know exactly how they want you to pronounce.
Well, of course, I'm sure that a lot of them are crazy.
Yeah, they are, but actually that makes it so easy because I read through those and I'm like, oh, this is very clear. But the book Masks of Nyarlathotep, God, that's a tough one. I've been calling him Nyarlathotep forever.
It sounds good.
Yeah, I think so.
Even when I'm reading those stories, I don't read out loud sitting in my apartment. But
Even
even
I do it at full volume, max volume.
yeah, I don't know that the neighbors would appreciate that so much. even when I'm reading those stories at home, I don't even say those words, in my
just skip
head.
them?
I just skip them. Just
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck
It's like
that is.
I'll identify this word as something after a while,
Right.
and that's about it.
Oh, I obsessed if I
bad
don't know
guy
the word.
A.
I'm just like in my head for like the next 4 days, just saying that word.
But I've been listening to audiobooks for years now, so I don't ever have to worry about that shit.
There's a guy, and I can't remember his name, but he does the narration for Darkest Dungeon, and he does a really good audiobook for the whole Lovecraft, I think the whole Lovecraft collection.
Nice.
Wait, that same guy does it?
That same guy.
Oh man, he's got such a great
Oh,
voice
I
for
know.
that shit.
And that's why he does that. Why he got that job was because the developers were listening to that on the audiobook while they're programming and stuff.
That totally makes
And they're
sense.
like, this is
though.
what we need. We need this guy, and they got him.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. That makes me love that all the more.
I watched the documentary on how they made it on YouTube. It was like a 45-minute thing, but
Damn.
it's just a damn good game. I play that
Yeah.
occasionally.
Darkest Dungeon, check it out if you want to
Yeah,
deal with
also
some crazy
not a sponsor.
insanity.
Yeah, not yet.
Actually, no.
Red
but
Hook Games actually.
At the same time, though, I mean, if you want to deal with a game that has some crazy insanity rules and all that shit, that's
It's
very good one.
on brand with this whole thing.
Absolutely.
Too. Darkest Dungeon 2 has been announced, fortunately.
Oh my god.
And they kind of got like a 3D look to it, which I'm curious to see how they're going to.
Just to make this relevant, I think that sometime in the future we should probably on the Cashville channel or something we should play Darkest Dungeon.
I have it.
Yeah, I have it too. If anybody wants to see us play Darkest Dungeon anytime in the future,
Make it known.
You can email us at therolledstandardgang@gmail.com.
there it is.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
All right, guys. Well,
Nate, you didn't say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Say it.
Nope.
I don't blame him.
There we go.
There it is. Dork. To finish the point that I constantly was like trying to make but never made it there, the book Masks of Nyarlathotep
Oh shit.
is
Yeah, no.
is a collection of short scenarios
Right.
that are very similar to this but expanded. So and that's actually all that they published as far. I believe all they published is books like that, where it's just collections like that, rather than like a full book like Dungeons and Dragons does.
Oh, that's so cool
Yeah,
though.
there might be those, though, too.
but that makes sense.
But that was the point I really we just went hard off the rails on all of a sudden.
Oh, that doesn't matter at all.
That's what we do here.
Yep, at least I like put the train back on the tracks.
Yeah, you figured it out.
By myself. No, a full train. No.
I think we covered a lot of what we've done here
Oh, for
already.
sure.
I mean, like, if anybody has actual questions about more game mechanic-y type of stuff,
Ask someone else. No, I'm just kidding. No, ask us. Yeah, hit us up on Facebook. Ask us questions.
Yeah.
Get a
more so than anything, we wanted to just talk about the game and then let you know it's worth playing. Do it.
Absolutely.
Go play it.
Any game.
Yeah, really. To
Really?
be honest, any game. Sit down at a table with people you enjoy and play a game.
Work your brains. Work your social skills.
This one is
Yep.
a damn
your
good one
maths.
to pick, especially if you're into this crazy kind of shit.
Yes.
Very, very good game. Chaosium does a very, very good job.
And it's a perfect introduction to what we're going to be doing for probably the next few months. Is horror. We're doing horror for pretty much. I want to say you'll probably get horror from us to the end of the year.
Yeah,
And beyond.
probably.
Yeah. We've got.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's probably gonna be just as fucking bonkers and crazy as we make it here.
We tend
sure.
to go for the silly when we're improvising things, but
just who we
I
are,
like
yeah.
to think that one, that's who we are,
Yep.
and two, I also like to think that we get on track and we get where we're going.
Oh, for sure. We do get the story told in so many words.
But there's quite a few words.
Quite a few. Quite a few. Quite many. Quite much.
Quite much words.
Very much. Well, that makes sense.
Many much things.
Right, many much words. To give you a brief preview of what you can expect from us for this short time, our next episode, we're going to be playing Depths of Drasted, and actually Aaron is going to take over the hot seat.
Yeah.
First time ever.
Ever.
Apparently, according to what I've heard, I have a voice for narration and a face for radio.
Both are correct, sir.
Agreed.
No, I'm sure you're gonna do a great job. This
I
was
know
the-
you will.
This is it. This is the Black Dahlia murder.
I believe it was a pre-order for their album Verminous, and it's a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, intended to be a one-shot, can be played in 3 to 4 hours.
So a couple of episodes for us, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
I have, number 280 something out of 1,000. I'm very impressed with myself. No one else cares. That's okay. I'm used to it.
So we're going to be going into 5th edition pre-made characters.
Yes. Pre-made characters. I believe, Chris, you are...
I'm going to be Wagner Lionheart. He's a champion fighter.
Yeah, I'm going to be...
I know it was Chance, was it?
Devereaux, I believe.
I am going to be Chance Devereaux, as a matter of fact, yes.
And also introducing Jake for the very first time.
Yeah, so we said his name before, but...
Jake has actually been working with us, recording future episodes, and we circled back to do the Black Dahlia murder one-shot, and I figured it would be a perfect introduction for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I figured this is the review here was
So
a
you
good time
might
to
get
say
an
something.
introduction on the next game after that. Too.
Yeah,
Right,
but just
probably.
ignore that.
We're
You
just
already
going to
know him.
introduce Jake every episode forever.
Yeah,
case
from
you
now
forget.
to the end of time. So that does bring us back to, that's Depths of Drasted that we're going into for a
Probably
couple of
3
episodes.
episodes, I would say.
Not very long, just digging into it because
It's there. It's
weird,
relevant. It's fun.
It's obscure. Not a lot of people have done it already. I think it's interesting for people to get an idea of it. And
Me and Aaron are huge metalheads.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Then we're going to do another very small dip into,
The Fate core system.
yeah. We're going to do that for just a little bit. And that will pretty much set up our long-term game of...
Monster of the Week.
Yes.
Which, honestly, we're about halfway through it with what we're planning to put out, and we are absolutely loving it. So look forward to that. And
Yeah.
also, we'll review, of course, we'll give you a nice review episode of everything that we do on the way there.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if we do it just for a little bit, we'll give a small review about what we've done so far and tell you our wrong opinions about it.
Yeah. They are the world standard.
Yeah, which is
Something that we've established means nothing.
yeah, it's like the point. It's like the points and whose line is it anyway? They don't matter.
Right, yeah. Mhm. So, yeah, 2 out of 2.
Yep.
Winning. Does that matter?
No.
What does that even mean?
All right, well, that's kind of what we got lined up for the future. Like we said already, if you want to hear us play any of the things that we've already played for you, you want to keep moving on with characters or stories or whatever, let us know, and we'll find a way to get that out to you, either if it's on the main feed or something like Patreon
Just
or
hand
something like
deliver
that.
a tape
yeah,
to you, a cassette
absolutely.
tape.
We'll record it all on VHS even. We'll do a live play.
Guys, be good to each other. Be kind to each other. I'm not going to touch politics, but it has been a volatile year.
You are absolutely not wrong, man.
Of course I'm right. Anyway, be good to each other. Be kind to each other. Be happy. Be healthy. Don't fucking sniff glue. Jesus fuck.
Come on.